and welcome. Thank you to everybody who has watched my videos so far and has supported me and subscribed. I make weekly videos, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button, do so now because there's lots more to come. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple cabbage bhaji or sabzi with a few spices. It's really simple, so let's get started. Here's what you're going to need for your fresh ingredients. I've got some potatoes, tomatoes, chilies to your taste, an onion, a small cabbage, and some frozen peas. So I'm going to chop the cabbage up and your onions, dice up your tomatoes, and dice up your potatoes into small cubes. Here's the spices that you're going to need for this recipe. We've got some coriander, cumin, garam masala, turmeric, salt, oil, ginger garlic paste, some cumin seeds, and some dried chilies, which is optional. So that's my cabbage, potatoes, tomatoes, and onions all diced up. So let's get started. Okay, my pan's been heating up, so my oil goes in. Let that heat up. Once your oil is heated up, you're going to put your cumin seeds in and the dried chilies. And just fry that for about half a minute. You can smell those cumin seeds. So my onions are ready to go in. Now with this dish, I want to cook my onions till they're quite a golden brown, so dark golden brown, because that gives it its own flavour. So we're just going to cook this till it turns a dark brown. Okay, you can see my onions have browned up a bit. So it's time for my tomatoes to go in. And I'm going to cook these tomatoes for about 2 minutes till it softens a little bit. Now my tomatoes have been cooking for about 2 minutes, so they're starting to soften up. And you can see it's turned a nice brownish red color. It's time for my spices to go in. So in goes the turmeric, coriander, garam masala, cumin, and the ginger and garlic paste. I'm going to mix that all up. We want this to become a paste, so just lower the heat, make sure nothing burns. This has been cooking for about 2 minutes and my tomato has dissolved and I can see the oil just on the side there. So my mixture is cooked. It's time now for my peas to go in. Chilies, and my potatoes. I'm going to add the salt. I'm going to cook these potatoes for about 5 minutes before I put the cabbage in. So they're just starting to soften a bit. If you need to add a little bit of water, you can do. If things are getting caught down the bottom, I've turned my heat down to a medium. I'm just going to add a little bit of water so those potatoes can cook. And I'm going to cover that and let that cook for about 5 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes, so it's time to check on these potatoes. They haven't quite cooked yet, but they will cook with the cabbage in them. So I'm going to put the cabbage in now and turn my heat up a little bit more. That's all my cabbage in. Give it a good mix. This cabbage will cook down to nothing. And cabbage does release a lot of liquid. So I'm not going to add any water. I'm just going to keep an eye on it and see how much liquid the cabbage releases. So that's all my cabbage in, and it's all well mixed. Mixed through nicely, so I'm not adding any water at this stage. I'm just going to put the lid on and let that cabbage sweat. Once it starts sweating, then I'm going to let it cook. I might take the lid off or leave the lid on depending how much fluid comes out. So I'm just going to leave the lid on now and let it sweat for about 5 minutes. I've turned the heat up to a medium, and we'll come back and have a look in 5 minutes. Okay, this has been cooking for about 10 minutes, so it's time to give it a stir. The cabbage hasn't released a lot of water, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to cover that and cook that for another 10 minutes and check on it in about 10 minutes. Been about 10 minutes again, so let's have a look and see how this is cooking. I haven't added any water to this. So as you can see, it's quite a dry vegetable dish. Going to turn the heat down a little bit, starting to get caught a little bit down the bottom. The potatoes are nearly done. I think another 5 minutes and this will be done. It's starting to catch a little bit down the bottom, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water just so it doesn't burn. Potatoes are nearly done, so another 5 minutes I'll be happy. So just add water if you need to. I'm going to turn that heat down and give it another 5 minutes. So it's just on medium. Okay, it's been another 5 minutes, so this should be ready by now. That looks cooked. My potatoes are cooked and my cabbage looks cooked, so I'm happy with that. There you have it. That's a dry vegetable cabbage, peas and potato. You would generally have this with naan, Indian naan or chapatis or rotis. Enjoy and give it a try. Cabbage, peas and potato sabzi or curry. If you like this video, share it, subscribe and see you in the next video.